He told me how much he really liked me and how much he was actually afraid that he was sinning, but then he's been trying to like hold himself for quite some time. But ever since he saw me walk in the church, he really liked me. And then he also said, I want to know how an 18-year-old girl tastes.
What?
Those were his words. He said he wanted to know, like, understand how an 18-year-old girl tastes,
Test like
like sexually.
mm.
Yeah, I remember those words very well.
And this was your spiritual father at that time
Yes,
who was married.
yes,
And he took you to a hotel and says he wants to know how an 18-year-old girl tastes.
yes.
You can go on. So this is what our women have been going through. This is the level of damage that has been caused to our sisters. And she's not the only one. It's quite a lot of them out there. But they don't know who to talk to. They're afraid. They're scared. Because so many people will judge them. So many people will take to choose the side of the oppressor. So many of you are tempted to even comment below after you listen to the full testimonial that what were you doing there? Brothers all over Africa, America, all over the world, if you're watching this, let's take a stand and protect our families. Let's take a stand and protect our sisters. These species called women are so vulnerable. Even the weakest man in the society can find his own woman to oppress. If we don't stand up for them, if we don't protect them, if we don't defend them or voice out on their behalf, they'll always fall victim. And these charlatans have targeted these species to become the bodies of their sexual rituals. And they've forever been suffering on the receiving end, going through the most. They went to church to seek Christ. They went to church to know the true word of God. And they were taken advantage of. They were raped. They were molested. They were abused. Their rights were violated. But because they were spiritual beings who were still seeking the truth about the gospel, about the kingdom gospel, still trying to uplift their spirits so that they can live a moral life, a holy life, a righteous life. And they trusted the church. They trusted prophets to be their vindicators. They trusted prophets to be their doorway to the kingdom. The same people that they trust, the same men of God that they trust, raped them, and they are still raping them. I want you to listen to her full testimonial. It's heartbreaking. I couldn't stomach it myself. But I think it's high time we also, as concerned Christians, we set up structures to help these people. They have been bleeding. We need to start providing solutions on how we can rehabilitate them, how we can restore them, how we can restore their integrity. Because this is an incident that happened some time ago. But she keeps on having flashbacks of this incident. Because that's the moment, that was the defining moment of her misery. That's when a completely different turn in her life took place. Up to date, she's broken. She does not know it yet. But she keeps reminding herself that the pictures, the scene keeps coming back to her conscience. Who can get away from rape? Who can get away from sexual abuse? Those images, they'll keep playing. You know, when I hear these stories, I only imagine if it was my own sister. How hateful that would be to me. So as you listen to this testimonial, please imagine if she was your sister, if she was your daughter, before you jump to defend the charlatans. Just imagine. Just look at it from that perspective. Be human sometimes. In as much as you are addicted to your false prophets, sometimes give room to your heart, some space for being human and being considerate, and coming up with ideas and solutions on how we can put an end to this madness. The house of God has been turned into a brothel, and we've been watching and keeping quiet. Without further ado, please listen to the testimonial. And let's keep praying for this sister because she's going through a lot. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, my brother.
I'm great. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you too. Yeah, so I was just actually trying to like send you a voice note, but even then I was not able to express myself so well because I'm not a very good narrator. So sometimes I beat around the bush here and there. So maybe it's better that we can just have a conversation like this instead of me recording
nice.
a voice note.
Oh, perfect. So talk to me. First of all, I want to know the name of the charlatan that molested you.
The name of the charlatan is Franklin Rich. He called himself Prophet Franklin Rich at the time, but now I think he addresses himself as I don't know whether it's Reverend or Apostle. So even as we are chatting, I think I can just go to his Facebook, and then I send you screenshots.
So where is he based right now?
He's within Lusaka.
In Lusaka, Zambia. That's Zambia, right?
Yes, that's Zambia.
And
that's
he's married.
Zambia.
Is he married right now?
Yes, he's married even before. Even at the time he was married.
Oh, okay.
To actually a very wonderful lady, I must say.
How old were you when this happened to you?
18. 18, I think turning 19. Yeah, 18.
Okay, so go ahead, please. Explain to me what really happened, how you ended up in this mess, so that we can help so many other people that are willing to come up front and talk about their experiences. Because when I tell people that these charlatans are molesters, these charlatans are rapists, these charlatans are sexual predators, they don't believe me. But at least if they can hear from victims like yourself, it can help them understand the nature of devils that they are dealing with.
Yes.
So please,
and I'll tell you, this is the first time actually that I'm even having these guts of coming out in the open. It's not easy to come out like this, and like for people like me, things will happen to you, but then you are afraid of even coming out to the public domain because you don't know what people will say. You are afraid of being judged. I don't know. It's a whole lot of crazy, and it's just scary to come out there in the open. So for the past, I think almost a week now, I have been checking out your videos, and I've been able to relate like on so many levels. And it just made me feel like, maybe this is my opportunity to even just open up. So I'll go ahead and just give you a brief background of my history. What we discovered was the motive of many people that are going to these churches, honestly, is to seek Christ in all honesty. So people are so hungry for the word of God that when they are looking for a church, all they want is to experience the true power of God, to find a living church where things are happening, where the power of God is like really, really, really flowing, So when we went there, that was just our focus. And we found, this was a church that was full of youths. There were like a lot of youth in that church. So to us, it's like, wow, this is a beautiful environment. It's allowing you to grow, non-judgmental. I would go to the church with, all my dyed hair. And then, now it so happened that there was a very bad incident that happened to me and my sister where we were staying. So my sister could no longer be in Lusaka. She was going through a lot of things at the time, so she decided to leave. And then I couldn't leave because by then I had started school. I was just getting into college at the time, so I couldn't leave Lusaka as well because it was my sister keeping me. So instead she said, you know what, let me just go away for a while. Let me go back to our parents' house and just heal through this moment. Then when I come back, we'll pick it up from there. So when she told in fact, she didn't even propose it to the pastor. She was just like saying bye. So he asked, so what is going to happen to your young sister? She says, hey, I really don't know what's going to happen for now, but I'm thinking maybe I can leave her at my friend's place for a few months, and then once I stabilize, I'll come back and pick her up, or maybe organize for her to be in boarding, because by then she was even facing some financial challenges. And that's where he said, no, you don't have to worry about anything. It's just that, of course, I can't pick her up to come and live with me, but what I can do is you don't have to worry about her, like in terms of finances or whatsoever. I'm gonna take care of all that. She can stay even at your cousin's place or at your friend's place for now, as we are still organizing where she can be. Maybe in the near future we can even take her into boarding school, but for now, don't worry, just leave her in my hands and she'll be safe. Yeah, my sister was so happy.
So that was the prophet that was proposing this to your sister, that she must leave you in his hands. He will take care of you.
Yes.
And maintain your well-being.
Yes, and she didn't have to worry about anything since her finances were not okay. So he would take care of me, make sure I didn't worry about even transport money going to school. I didn't worry about groceries. I didn't worry about anything. Like, he would take care of me. Next, it started as text messages when I got home. Hi, baby girl. I said, oh, in fact, wait. Before he even texted me, I think my number from my sister, he first started by texting me, hi, baby girl. I said, who is this? He said, can I call you? I said, sure. And then he called me. Hi, baby. So I said, hi. You know who you're talking to? He said, no, I don't know. I'm like, no. And then now he's like, oh, okay. Then now he told me, oh, this is Franklin.
With the flirtatious voice.
Yes, my brother, Franklin Rage. I said, oh my God, Daddy, is this you? Yeah, it's me. Now he changed that. I said, oh my God, Dad, it's you. Oh, yes, it's me. Then he laughed. I'm like, oh, no, I'm so sorry. You sounded very different, so I couldn't recognize your hair. No, don't worry. It's okay. So, yeah, where are you right now? I told him I'm home. Then he asked me what time I was having class. I told him all that. Then I think the next day, that's when he came and saw me, gave me the money. And, he was just looking at me in that way. And actually, I was with my male classmate. Then I even called my sister. Oh, no, the pastor has done this. What? Wow, that's so nice. Prophet Rich. That's so kind of him. Forgot about it. And now that's how it started. I don't even know where to start from, but I don't even know how it happened, because still, I don't think I'm a stupid girl, but I really don't know how I was manipulated into doing that. I really don't know how it happened. However, so he started texting me and narrating to me how, when cameras are going around the church.
Okay, wait. Your first encounter with him, how did it happen?
Yes.
I want to understand about the first encounter.
Okay, so the first encounter,
yeah.
Oh my God, it's like you just breaks my heart. The first sexual encounter. So he called me, and that day, actually, when I was coming from school. Before that, just what I wanted to explain to you briefly. When there are those cameras going around church. Mm-hmm. So first he started by telling me, all the time he would tell me, oh, I saw how you were dressed, you wore this and this and this. And at that time his ministry was really, really flowing, so there were a lot of people that would attend even midweek services. And then he would explain to me exactly how I was dressed, and then he would tell me how I was looking sexy and how I was looking hot. And then, I started getting confused. Every time I would even go to church, I'm like, is this the same guy that was texting me this? Sometimes he would be in his office texting me dirty text messages. And then the next thing he's on the pulpit. So I look at him, I'm like, no, maybe someone is just playing games. Could this really, really, really be him that's texting me all this nonsense? Until now, such a time when now finally we met, and then he had to tell me all those things, because I'm also trying to prove. I'm like, no, maybe someone is just trying to play with my mind. Could it be him that is texting me all these dirty messages? I just couldn't believe. Anyway, I knew to say yes, it is him, but I was just still living in denial to say no, this is too dirty for him to do. Until such a time now, finally, he took me to a far away place. It was like a lodge, an unfinished lodge. Actually, it was under construction at the time. He told me how much he really liked me and how much he was actually afraid that he was sinning, but then he's been trying to hold himself for quite some time. But ever since he saw me walk in the church, he really liked me. And then he also said, I want to know how an 18-year-old girl tastes.
What?
Those were his words. He said he wanted to know, understand how an 18-year-old girl tastes.
Test like
sexually. Yeah, I remember those words very well.
And this was your spiritual father at that time?
Yes.
Who was married?
Yes.
And he took you to a hotel and says he wants to know how an 18-year-old girl tastes?
Yes.
You can go on.
And then he... Sorry, this is the part that hurts me the most. And yeah, then he did sleep with me, and he told me how nice I tasted. Oh, you taste so nice. Wow, this is how an 18-year-old girl tastes. Oh my God. So I hope, don't tell anybody about this. I know you are close to your sister, but don't tell your sister even about this. You can imagine what they are going to say or even think about you. So that was the first time, and it was not the last time. It happened again, and I was quiet. And I remember when I went to, first the following Sunday, I felt to go to church. And then now he texted me and, was trying to call me, why are you not coming to church? I said, no, I was not feeling fine, so I couldn't. And then I think he was feeling guilty. So I remember at one point my sister even calling me, asking me to say, I know the prophet was complaining to say you're not going to church, you're not being serious with the things of God. What's wrong? And I couldn't open up to her to tell her exactly what was going on. So I just said, no, I'm just getting busy with school and all. But back to my story. There was even an instance where, now I'm trying to cut it short, where I don't know where his wife had gone. So it was just him at the house, and he was even keeping some boys. But you can imagine. Hey, God. Hey. My God. No. Oh, he made me actually late. So I was going for an overnight prayer meeting. And then he sneaked me into his house. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm listening. He sneaked you into his house.
Into his house. His wife was not there. I don't know what was... I really don't know what was happening. I don't know whether she had left because of the same stories where hearing... I don't know what was going on at the time. He sneaked me inside his house. And the things that he did to me. Oh my God.
Please explain in
Okay,
detail.
he misused me.
Explain in detail.
He misused my innocence. He misused me. I'm telling you. I'm that's why I'm very hurt. Actually, he slept with me. Always.
He violated you.
Very.
He abused you.
Very.
How? How did he do
Very.
it?
Sexually, the way he was turning me around. I'm tired. He couldn't stop it. No, you are very sweet. What? And I'm there at some point. I'm like, but hasn't this man realized? And to be honest, at that time, I don't know if I was doing it out of fear. We hold these people in high regard. You understand? So even when they tell you something, I knew too well that it was wrong. Okay, I'm not even trying to play a victim here, because I knew too well it was wrong. Okay, but I don't even understand how I fell for it, and maybe this is even the shame that I've suffered to even come out in the open, because I don't consider myself as being dumb enough to have allowed something like that to keep going on for such a period of time without even telling anybody about it. You understand? So it hurts me. It hurts me because I don't know how I allowed him to even do those things to me, and at least I could have told somebody. But he really slept with me badly. I was tired. I was
Oh, wait a minute. If you were not tired, could you have enjoyed it?
I was young. Come on.
Exactly my point. Listen, I don't want you to blame. I don't want you to blame yourself. Okay. I don't want you to blame yourself for whatever that happened. It's not your fault. That's what they do. They manipulate young girls. They use spells to lead you into places and to make you do things that you're not comfortable with.
I promise you, it's true. I couldn't. I don't think I'm that stupid. Even if my sister could hear this side of the story, she'd be very surprised, and that's why I'm even so ashamed, because I'm like, even if I explain to my sister all these things, exactly how it happened, how is she going to look at me? Probably she'll be thinking I was this, jumpy kid, because already, even somehow, I've grown up a little bit judged like that. Like, hey, so these are especially my family. These are the people that I feel really, really know me well, and they can defend me. And I have actually been so afraid and even embarrassed to say, no, if I even told them to say this happened to me at such an age, they'll probably think I was such a mischievous young girl, how could I have I hate him. I'm telling you, I hate him. I hate him so much. I don't want to. Sometimes I tell myself, just one of those childhood experiences. I hate him. Every time I have those flashbacks.
Did this man sleep with your sister as well?
I think so. I think he did. Because I know he did. I know he did. It's just that my sister also doesn't have the guts to tell me.
So in your case,
but I know he
do you feel like he was raping you or it was consensual sex?
I felt how I feel. Yes, Prophet X. Yes, I feel that there was rape. I feel there was molestation. There was defilement, because I can also call it defilement. Mm-hmm. Because on my side it hurts me that why did I not speak out? Why did I even go there? I know how I felt the first time. I know how humiliating it was for me. I know how bad I felt even when I went back home that day.
But that experience took everything away from you. Your dignity, your integrity, your faith in God, your spirituality.
Worse off. In me, I was not even a girl. I would never even like I told you about my background. But I even, there was even level of wildness that came in me. I started clubbing, I started drinking, and I've never been that type of person. I was just that innocent kid. But after that experience, it did a lot of mental damage to me. And I mean a lot of mental and spiritual damage. A lot. You have no idea.
How do you feel about it now? This is something that happened some time ago. When you reflect, when you have flashbacks of it, what comes to your mind? Have you healed from this? Have you moved on from this experience? Or it's still haunting you and you have not yet found peace and restored your sanity?
I have not. For the first time, this is the first time ever that I'm explaining to someone exactly. I've always, said funny things about him, like, no, that guy, but not even when the ministry went down and he was trying to pick it up, I'd always say, God is paying him back for all the things that he did. But for the first time, I hope after this call, I'm gonna find healing, because I even feel, like I feel a bit of ease. I've kept so much anger and so much hate for this man, like so much.
You know what you have just done? You have just offloaded, a truckload of burdens from yourself, and you will not be the same. Of course, we'll pray together. We'll always keep you in prayers. We'll always be there supporting you and praying for you. But once your story is also heard, what you've just done is not justice for yourself, but of course, the law enforcement might not be having that harshness to deal with matters of this nature because they're always bribed. But the fact that you have raised, you have aired out, and for the first time you've spoken about this experience that you encountered with this man of God, with this false man of God, believe you me, you'll feel lighter. And what I want to encourage you is to keep on praying and move on from this. It's not something that you can forget, but I just want you to know that everything that happens in life, it happens for a reason. I wouldn't know the reason why such an experience would happen to you, but your story is probably going to move a lot of young girls out there. Your story is going to shield, is going to protect other young girls out there that might fall victim to these charlatans. Your story is going to be an eye opener, not just to those young girls, but to the entire body of Christ. You could have gone through that experience so that when the world hears your story, they will open their eyes. They'll start detaching, they'll start discontinuing following these false prophets. They'll start knowing the true nature of these jackals that come in sheep's clothing, lying to people that they are of God, yet they are rapists, yet they are sexual predators, yet they are manipulators.
Okay, but that man, you even getting me, there was like, this where I was staying was like a bush, it was like a farm area. Then I remember that time, like he drew me in the bush, he was busy touching my breast, like in the middle of nowhere, in a bush. A man of God, really? To an 18-year-old who does that. Okay, that's just disgusting. When I remember, my goodness. And when I see him even standing on the pulpit, claiming to proclaim, oh gosh. Prof X,